online dating, or how I met your mother? Now, online dating is no longer an embarrassing secret. Instead, today, you can see that online dating is more than normal. It's actually the norm. It's a testament to our changing social fabric that online dating in all of its forms is now as commonplace as Starbucks, which, in case you were curious, is a terrible place to have a first date. Please don't do that. Now, online dating is so large today that Match Group, a collection of dating services, recently went public. Before it did, Match reported $1 billion in revenue and more than $100 million in profit. Now, not all things are rosy, however. According to one data set that TechCrunch reviewed, the average length of a relationship that starts online is 18.5 months. That compares poorly to the average length of a relationship that starts not online, which is 42 months. But to be clear, online dating has brought more people together than I can shake a stick at. 1 in 20 Americans are currently in a committed relationship that started online, and that's just dating apps. I mean, hell, even something special on Twitter. Dating apps, like people, come in all shapes and sizes, types, and structures. That means that no matter what your style or preference, there is something out there to help you meet that someone. To help break down the online dating dynamics and how we're all meeting together online, we have Arum Kang right here in the studio.
Arum Kang is the co-founder and CEO of Coffee Meets Bagel, a dating service that specializes in helping people find dates by leveraging their network of friends. In a crowded online dating space, Coffee Meets Bagel claims to be the only dating app that women love. It has a focus on both privacy and safety. A growing company up against big competitors, Coffee Meets Bagel has more than $11 million in funding behind it, and earlier this year turned down $30 million more on the hit show Shark Tank.
Please welcome to the show Arum Kang. Arum, my friend, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I've been looking forward to this for weeks, actually.
Awesome.
Now, okay, so to start off, I'm very curious. Do you think that there's a core reason why people use online dating apps? Are they stuck in a rut with their friend group, or are they really just looking for a little bit of help in their process?
Well, I mean, so I think traditionally online dating was sort of thought as, okay, only people who are desperate
right, the
and
bottom of the barrel.
antisocial, yes,
Sure.
would use online dating. That's just not true anymore. People who actually use online dating are the most, like the busiest people who are ambitious about their career. They're very busy, they have the good social life, etc. They just don't have time to.
So this is really a time saver for them. So they can't go out to every single bar in the city and meet everyone else.
Exactly.
They're just looking for a cooling of the herd.
It's just tiring, you know, going to the same bar, hanging out with the same people all the time. Like, how do you get out?
Group, yes.
See, it's a very common story. How do you get out of like the people you hang out with all the time?
So I've done some online dating. I've used your service back in the day. I was never that successful, but you know, I'm curious, can people really use online dating tools on a casual basis, or is this more a focus they have to really invest a lot of time into?
I think it used to be that they had to spend hours in front of their computer, browsing through photos, etc., to find the people that they want to message, etc. It used to be so time consuming. Nowadays, especially with mobile apps that are out, it's become very simple, and the algorithm has gotten better, so you don't have to input so much more information about yourself before people can. These apps can actually match you with the people that you might be interested in.
So yeah, this is actually a pretty good point. So we found some data before the show, and apparently about 1 in 5 or 20% of people that have online dating profiles use their friends to vet their profiles and help them pick out dates. So does that mean that the concept of a wingman or a wingwoman is kind of going away, or does that social interaction still persist in the online dating world?
I think it absolutely persists. And I think what's become successful in online dating is actually a pretty good replica of what people do offline. So, you know, one of the most common ways people meet other, you know, their partners is through their friends. And that's the trend that you see in online dating as well. So, for example, Coffee Meets Bagel, we actually match people through friend network. If you have mutual friends in common, you are much more likely to connect with that person successfully.
Because it almost vets people for you.
Yeah, and you don't want to be, especially if you're a woman, you know, you don't want to be meeting with a random stranger. Like,
no,
who knows how safe?
Hashtag ban man. I'm on board with this.
I mean, it's a safety issue too.
Certainly. Now, online dating, we saw data online is about a $2 billion per year market right now. So it's a lot of money. It's very broad. It's very big. But, you know, we look at the big services, you know, JDate and Tinder and OkCupid and so forth. You know, are there network effects inherent to those larger platforms that make them better platforms than other things like, you know, maybe Coffee Meets Bagel, or can smaller players still have a targeted niche audience that sets them apart from the more generic platforms?
Yeah, I'd be lying if the bigger guys don't have an advantage. Of course, there's a network effect. This is a two-sided platform. But I think what technology has really allowed the smaller companies like us to do better is basically filtering and matching people and curating better people. Just because you have so many number of people doesn't mean you're going to be able to find the best person for each of the users. And I think curation becomes really key to success.
Is that the core advantage of your service? Do you think it's the curation element that sets you apart from everyone else? Is that enough of a competitive advantage to keep you independent?
I think so, because people are absolutely getting sick of just numbers game. You know, dating just becomes a number. Swipe, right, yeah. And that actually works really well for guys, because guys genuinely enjoy browsing through pictures of women.
Yes.
But for women, it's a fatigue, it's tiring. So I think curation can be a real competitive advantage.
Now, one thing we saw with the rise of Tinder was that it was a mobile-focused platform. And so you said sitting behind your computer for hours, no fun, no one wants to do that. Is the future of online dating strictly mobile, or is there still a space for desktop-focused offerings that work in tandem with mobile apps, for example?
I absolutely think it's going to be mobile and mobile exclusive.
Mobile exclusive?
Yeah, and I think pretty much it's not just online dating. I think a lot of the services that we offer is going to be mobile exclusive. That's where the trend is going, and that's how our users are also behaving too, and we see this already.
Yeah. Okay. So before I let you go, one last question: in how many years until Coffee Meets Bagel is bigger than Tinder?
I can't answer that question. Thank you.
Bullish airs every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and you can find it here on TechCrunch.com.